Mr. Edit Man presents. Someone stole my credit card and bought an iPad, but had it shipped to my house. What's your best stupid criminal story? A friend of mine had his backpack with his $1,400 engineering laptop in it stolen while at the campus food court. I had a weird gut feeling it would turn up on Craigslist or somewhere similar. Every day for a week I checked Craigslist. Exactly 1 week later, I found the laptop. This extremely stupid criminal took a picture of the laptop screen with my friend's login name. Yeah, very stupid criminal. So I contacted the seller immediately via email and he responded within 20 minutes. I said I'd like to buy the laptop from him. We agreed to meet at a nearby parking lot later that day. Next, we called the cops. They agreed to set up a sting on the thief. One of the officers pretended to be a buyer and approached the thief. The officer acted as if he was examining the laptop, but was actually looking for the serial number. Boom. It had a matching serial number and they arrested this dumb malarkey a week ago. 4 months later, the guy was proven guilty and to my knowledge is spending a year in prison. Plus, my buddy finally got his laptop back. When I worked at Guitar Center, a couple came into the store. The guy left and the girl stayed, checking out guitars. A sales guy saw her holding two higher-end Gibson Les Pauls down by the low-end side of the wall by the BC Riches. He asked if he could help and she asked a question about the guitars. He took one from her and went to check something on it. Once he was about 20 yards away, she bolted. She sprinted down the hallway to the warehouse, past the bathrooms, and busted out the emergency exit door that lets out behind the store. Two guys took chase and made it out in time to see a car squealing around the corner of the building. We really had nothing to go on. I'm pissed because having a $3,500 guitar stolen cuts into my bonus and it just overall sucks to have your crew bummed about the theft, etc. Cut to 1 week later. I'm running my morning meeting and I'm told I have an important phone call. I take the call and my friend is telling me I have to check my email. I do and there's a link from him to a Craigslist ad. The methodica posted a photo of himself holding the guitar. I know it's ours. I just know it. He describes it inaccurately and is asking $1,000. Gives a BS reason for it not having a case. We need the serial number. We need that ducking number. Another manager calls him pretending to be a collector. He casually asks for the serial number, saying he's only looking for guitars from certain years. He calls it a date code, but I don't think the guy's buying it. He tells him he'll call him back with the number but never does. We're antsy. We call the cops. We form a plan. Another of our guys calls and tells this dude he just has to have this guitar. He'll come meet him with cash. Guy agrees. They meet at a gas station. Dude walks up with this gorgeous $3,500 Les Paul in a $35 gig bag. The BS. For a bit and my dude asks to see the guitar. He looks it over and checks the serial. It's ours. Yeah man. This is exactly what I was hoping for. Great guitar. Then he waves across the street to the cop car that was waiting around the corner. Dude is like a deer in headlights. Cops arrest him and even let us leave with the guitar. Back at the store my friend's phone rings. It's the guy's number. He answers. Girl, were you meeting my BF about a guitar? Friend. Yeah, I sure did. Girl. Oh. He's not back yet. Are you still with him? Friend. Nope. I'm already home. Girl. Oh. Weird. Okay. Well, did you get the guitar? Friend. I sure did. I'm holding it right now. Thanks. Girl. Oh great. Thanks. Have a good day. 1 hour later she called back. Did not bother to answer. She left a very nasty voicemail with a lot of swearing. Priceless. I hear he threw her under the bus in court and they both were in hot malarkey over the whole thing. My parents were driving home and saw their second car coming the other way. Turned around, followed it, and stole it back with their spare set of keys. And yes, obviously then reported the matter to the police. I live pretty close to Mexico, so anytime a car is stolen around here some people assume it's taken to Tijuana. Well, a family friend had his truck stolen, but his brother lives in TJ and saw his truck. It was at some compound with a small little rock barrier around it. Like it could really deter a raised F-150. So family friend drives down there with a buddy, hops in his truck while car thieves are inside, and steals his car back. Nothing missing. Stupid girl found my debit card after I had dropped it on campus. Took it to Wilson's Leather and bought her boyfriend a leather jacket. When my card did not have enough on it to pay the whole cost of the jacket, she used her own debit card to finish paying it off. All on video. My wife had her identity stolen and someone about 200 miles away in the next county tried to order some high-end music equipment, like $1,000 worth. Seeing that the billing and shipping address did not match, they called my wife to verify, who of course told them not to charge the card. The company gladly gave my wife the shipping address though, and a copy of the attempted charge receipt. At the time I also had access to title reports on the property, so we looked up the title donor. Was most likely a rental property in a college area. We turned this information into the police in our county, who said they could not do anything because it was not in their jurisdiction. She did have an active case and police report on this situation by then. So we called the police in the next county and reported the theft attempt and gave them the information. They would not investigate either because they did not have an active case number. No cooperation. As part of all of this, my wife's bank account was also raided, reimbursed by the bank after a few weeks. She cancelled her account and still, about 3 months later, a box of checks showed up at our door on her old account. The response on the phone by the bank rep was, verbatim, "They are bad. Absolutely ridiculous." To sum it up, cops and banks do not typically give a malarkey about ID theft cases. Someone stole my credit card info and bought a copy of their credit report with it. I looked that mofo up on Facebook too, since the CC company somehow ended up sending me a full copy of his credit report during the investigation. And I was like, dude. We left our garage open a few years ago at night by accident. Apparently someone had been snooping around in there because everything was out of place in the morning, except for a solid gold bracelet laying on the ground outside the garage door. What they steal? My ducking razor scooter man. I have got one. From this past weekend actually. I volunteer cleaning up a local park. It's called a park, but it has no facilities, no employees, etc. It's really more of a forest, and it does not get much official attention. Anyway, almost every day, I walk through, pick up trash, and ensure it's properly disposed of. It's a beautiful park and I like to keep it that way. So Sunday afternoon I found that someone had dumped a huge amount of construction debris in the park along one of the access roads. As I piled it up neatly, I found a receipt with a guy's name, address, and phone number, along with a description of his vehicle, including the make, model, mileage, and VIN. So I called the state park police and asked to speak with an officer, showed him the dumped trash, showed him the receipt I found, and made a formal complaint. He gave me the usual "we'll let you know if we need anything else from you." The officer called me last night to thank me for finding the receipt. He said they went and paid the guy a visit, found that vehicle in the driveway, and he answered the door. "Are you John Doe?" He said, "Yes, that's me." The officer said he insisted he knew nothing about illegal dumping. No surprise. And when it seemed like the interrogation was going nowhere, he pulled out the receipt, and then the guy said, "That's not my name." He already said it was him. The officer told me that's when he said, "Okay sir, if you're not going to properly identify yourself, you're under arrest for obstructing a government official, a class A misdemeanor, and we'll fingerprint you at the station and find out who you really are." Suddenly the guy's story changed. He was the guy on the receipt. That was his truck. And he dumped the trash in the park. The officer even said that the guy said, "I never thought it'd get caught." And he would not have either, if it was not for us meddling kids. To sum it up, guy dumps construction debris in park, leaves receipt with name, address, phone number, make/model/color/mileage of vehicle and VIN. Guy lies about it when questioned by police, comes clean after confronted with receipt. My soccer team was playing a game at a local park. During the game a sketchy looking guy runs through to pitch we are playing on, holding several cell phones. We soon realize that said valuables belong to us and begin chasing him. He probably thought that he has made a profit, stealing cell phones worth hundreds, until he looks back and sees 30 people chasing him down. When we caught him, we took our valuables back and proceeded to beat the crap out of him. The thing is, our changing rooms are roughly 200 yards from the field. So why run directly past the people you have just robbed when you could easily sneak away? Edit. If you are enjoying the video so far, smash that like button and subscribe if you have not yet for more free curated content. The first time my dad was on jury service, the case involved a criminal who tried to rob a jeweler shop. This was probably in the UK in the early 50s, when police response was slower and shops were not as well protected as they are now. The shop had a burglar alarm, but the thief figured that he could just smash the front window, grab anything he could reach, and be long gone before the police showed up. Unfortunately, He did not do his research properly. The shop was actually on the ground floor of an apartment block that was used to provide accommodation for young police officers. About a minute after the alarm went off, he found himself surrounded by 20 cops, and about 15 minutes after that he was in a cell. TL Doctor. Clueless burglar knocks over a shop next to police apartments. Jail time ensues. A friend of mine was mugged by some teenagers. He wore a fluffy jacket, so when the muggers frisked him, they did not find his mobile phone, but got his cash. As they were leaving, he heard them say that they were taking a taxi to a specific store. So, as soon as they had left, it was easy for him to call the police, who made a broadcast to all taxi drivers. After that, it was easy for the police to arrest the muggers. I live in a third world country and my parents got a phone call from someone who first put a crying girl on the line and claimed they have kidnapped me. I was with them at that time, so they knew it was fake. The conversation went like this. Dad, that's weird. I do not have a daughter. Dumbest criminal. You do not? Oh. So do you have a son? Dad, no. Dumbest criminal. Oh. How about a younger sister? My dad hung up at this point. This kid that was in my class in high school years back ran an operation on eBay selling those underbody neon light kits. You know, the bull malarkey that makes you look all fast and furious. Anyways, he makes a small fortune selling this stuff. The only problem was that when the customer received their product, it was just a picture of neon car kit. This kid had apparently worded his description to confuse people into thinking they were buying the real thing, but in reality they were spending like $200 on a piece of paper. A bunch of pissed off people from around the country called our local police and he ended up getting arrested. I cannot remember the charge, but he had tens of thousands of dollars to pay back, plus fines. The entire town shamed him, made fun of him for crying when the police interviewed him and everything. He was all over the news for a while. I had my iPod Touch stolen. The dude didn't seem clever when he started talking with his girlfriend on my Facebook. Figured who she was. Talked with her. Got her to talk with him. He lived far away apparently. Boom. You have made it until the end of this video. Now listen here, and listen here closely. Like and subscribe for more curated content from Mr. Edit Man. Thanks for watching.